Namaskaram to all Atmas. Jai Gurudev. On the eve of Guru Purnima, I take privilege in presenting my Atma Guru's social spiritual mission, which he has instructed me to implement to bring peace to humanity and world peace. This is being my life's mission from now on. Vision and mission. Peace to humanity brings world peace. But this peace to humanity and world peace is disturbed due to majority of people in underdeveloped and developing countries like India still struggling due to poverty, illiteracy and unemployment that is making them victims of criminalism, terrorism. In the competitive tension-filled world, people in the struggle for survival are under more fear, tension and stress that disturb their inner peace and health. And third one, the threat of religious intolerance that is prevailing in many parts of the world is disturbing the peace in the world. So, in the quest to find solution to the above facts that disturbs the peace to humanity and peace in the world, my Atma Guru has given the following socio-spiritual mission, which is given in the attachment. He says that all the people in the world belong to his family, and it is the duty of all the members of the family to extend a helping hand to the needy members of our family, to bring real peace in all, which in turn brings real peace in the world. Let us all sincerely and obediently follow the Guru's instruction and fulfill our duty to the fellow members of this world family that releases our karmas and takes us in the path of finally merging in Him and attaining salvation. Atmas. First now I present my social mission. My dream of India, a developed and peaceful India. Though India has attained 75 years of independence, still majority of people are struggling with poverty, illiteracy and unemployment in various parts of the country, making them victims of criminalism, terrorism and even nationalism. We all the people of India are the children of Mother India. Hence, each one of us have got duty to extend a helping hand to our fellow needy members of our Indian family and uplift them from the clutches of the dreaded social menace of poverty, illiteracy and unemployment and improve the economic status of all the people that paves in building India into a developed nation. For this, we as people of India have to take a pledge to do the following duty to fulfill our social responsibility to build a developed India. People who have settled in life under individual social responsibility should consolidate among their friends in their group to form NGO to mobilize resources to provide basic needs to the poor like food, clothing, education, counseling the youth, create network of their friends to share job opportunities for unemployed youth. Not just restricted these activities. One can go to villages nearby their residence or slums, wherever they find. They can able to provide support. They can do. It is only we need to see God in us. When you see God in you, you see God everywhere. Then the sufferings of others become sufferings of yours, and you can't sleep. This is what Swami Vivekananda says, which everyone should see in themselves, and by which they can able to see the sufferings of others, and by consolidating the friends, consolidating the resources, they can bring in real peace in the people surrounding them. By that only we can able to bring real Visvashanti. Similarly, corporates under corporate social responsibility should form NGO to adopt poor villages and provide basic infrastructure for the people like starting centers for youth and women empowerment and providing job-oriented self-employment training, taking care of the health and hygiene of the village, conducting sponsorship tournaments in sports and games to bring out the talents of the youth in sports and games. They should provide training for the youth in whichever sports, games, music, dance, whatever area the children or youth having the aptitude, they should be given proper training and then shape them into a valuable asset. This under corporate social responsibility, the corporates should take this stand. They should not think that only when they reach the threshold limit of 100 crores per year, 100 turnover per year, or 500 crores net worth, or 5 crores profit, they have to do CSR. This is what the law says. At 2% of their average 3 years profit, they have to spend every year. That is what the law says. But we should not restrict only to what law says. we should see the moral responsibility towards our fellow brothers and see as a corporate what I can able to do for the people surrounding me. If that responsibility comes among the corporates, that is the way for real Vishwasanti that we can able to see. And the third important thing who can able to do a very vital role in shaping the India into a developed nation is the politicians. The politicians under political social responsibility should do wholehearted selfless service to the people in each ward to implement various social welfare programs launched by central and state governments. Modi ji has brought in so many schemes for the welfare of the people. I have been publishing in my Vishwashanti Times every week what are all the various programs. So far 38 editions of my Vishwashanti Times, right from August 15th when I launched. From that day onwards till date, every week I am giving what Modi ji has brought in various welfare schemes. These are all meant for the people and this has to be implemented. So, besides state governments under various departments for the welfare of the people, for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, Adi Dravidas, like that, many schemes are being brought in for the people, benefit of the people, welfare schemes. These schemes is to uplift the economic and social status of the poor and needy, and in implementing various government-aided basic infrastructure projects in their respective areas. So these politicians, what they have to do is, these programs have been properly implemented for the people in their area. So it lies with civic bodies to provide all basic infrastructure and amenities for the people in their respective wards. So today people in each ward, they don't have the proper roads, proper drainage facility, proper lighting, and all these things the people, the politicians in their ward, they should take the responsibility to see that this is being redressed. Without people raising the complaint, these people should go around and see and what best they can able to do to find solution for this basic infrastructure project. So conduct tournaments and competitions with sponsorship support from business and corporates. In sports, games, music, dance, to bring out the talents of the youth and shape their career in their respective areas. So they should take the responsibility, because youth in their area, because a ward member or whomsoever it may concern, the politicians, first they should develop good rapport with the people in their area and see what best he can able to do for the people, welfare of the people, and see that he makes everybody as his family member and see that they grow. And so that's why I said that competitions should be conducted. So next important point is create a job placement cell in each ward and invite both job seeking youth and business people in their ward to register for the jobs needs. Create a network of all wards throughout the country and share job opportunities so as to ensure unemployed youth in any part of the country to get a job opportunity according to his aptitude. This is one of the greatest service which the politicians can do for the welfare of the youth of the country. Youth are most a sensitive stage of life they pass. The unemployed youth, if he has not got job at the right time, he may divert to become a criminal. So it is the duty and responsibility of the society to take care of them by providing job opportunity at the right time. So in that respect, the politicians can take the responsibility in implementing various Modi's program to develop skill of the youth, skill development, communication skill, and make them into employable asset in their ward, and provide job opportunities, self-employment opportunities. All these things they can able to provide. So if the politicians do this kind of service, then they need not go and woo the people in their ward to vote for him. So naturally the vote comes to him. So once you do good service to people, the people recognize you. So it is the duty of the people to extend support to those who really extend support to them as a politician. Please, I want to ensure that each politician fulfill their political social responsibility and see that we all contribute for the growth of the nation to become a developed nation. And now third is the state and central government under government social responsibility should implement following social welfare program. This is the most important thing which I have touched upon last time when I went in 2019 to present a memorandum to Modi ji. From here to Varanasi we went by car and given that in the PMO office. So one of the important things is about river water implementation. So here implement national water integration scheme. This is one of my dreams. This is not only my dream, a dream of many, to link all river waters in India through laying big water pipeline spread throughout the country, especially mainly along government highways, railways, and government lands wherever possible to avoid high cost of land acquisition for the project, and bring water to all the ponds, lakes in all villages throughout the country. See, most of the villages in the country, it's dry most of the time. Only when the rain comes, these ponds are filled. In summer period, entire villages are dry because they don't have perennial rivers in the south. So there are so many perennial rivers which can able to support these villages. So we can draw the water to a small extent through the pipeline. So put a check wall, whatever needed water for the pond, for the lake, you leave it and keep it, you conserve the water. So by that way, the water can be properly utilized for the irrigation purpose throughout the country, by which you can able to bring green revolution. That brings green revolution and contribute for agriculture industrial development, which create employment opportunities to a lot of rural and urban youth. So it's very important that we should bring in green revolution. It is we people who can do this, and in that respect we have to raise our voice to the government to implement this national water integration movement. To dig rainwater harvesting ponds in government lands spread throughout the country, to store the rainwater, that conserve the rainwater and increase the groundwater level, which will be useful for irrigation and avoid floods and save crop destruction. So then is to bring in election reformation by introducing electronic voting through mobile phone using Aadhaar card and facial identification and OTP for voting, and also fix stringent punishment for non-voting by public and illegal money distribution by politicians to procure votes. So this will ensure voting by all and also avoid poll rigging and malpractices. So to bring in political reformation by introducing political governance reporting, where the PM, his cabinet ministers, MPs at centers, and CM, his cabinet minister, and MLAs at state levels, publish half-yearly political governance report giving details of projects started, its progress, and completed, number of public grievances solved, so that people know what welfare work the elected government is doing for them. To bring in tax reformation, whereby all income tax should be taxed at minimum rate of 5 to 10% at the payment stage, and TDS be remitted by the payer. So the receiver can claim refund of TDS after filing his returns. This will generate more tax revenue for government. Also, the maximum rate of GST be restricted to 10 to 15%. That generate more revenue for government. Besides, it avoids without bill sales among the business community, that avoids accumulation of black money in the society. To bring in monetary reformation by introducing virtual digital currency, that will avoid black money, money laundering, and financial fraud. To bring in judicial reformation by establishing lower courts at each MP constituency level, appoint adequate judges in all tribunals, lower courts, high court, Supreme Court, to ensure that all cases are disposed within a span of maximum 1 year with limited adjournments. Government should appoint government advocates to deal with under trials cases in various jails and see they get earlier judgment of their case and avoid their languishing in the jails for long time. To bring an education reformation by introducing free yoga, meditation, spiritual, physiological, psychological, constitutional law, basic of criminal law, Indian Penal Code, job-oriented and self-employment courses in the schools and colleges, to shape the students into a valuable asset to the nation. Besides, in this education system, we have to bring in the moral values of life, moral stories, and the truth told in various religious philosophies. So in the children we have to imbibe this tolerance of to live with all religious people, irrespective of caste, creed, race, and other things. They should be tuned to live in harmony with all the people in the country, all the people in the world. This is one of the basic education should provide for the children to shape into a valuable asset. They can bring in real peace in the country and the world. Now third is my dream of world, a peaceful world. So when I close my eyes and do my meditation, Samadhi Dhyan, I was able to see people in remote villages in underdeveloped third world countries starving due to want of food, poverty, for want of clothing, shelter, education, all these things they are suffering. Whereas people in developed nations, they are spending and enjoying life without knowing what to do with their money. So this is the kind of situation prevailing, whereby if you do some balancing, then we can bring real Vishwa Shanti. So in that respect, my dream of world, a peaceful world. Today, majority of people, the third world, underdeveloped and developing countries, are starving and struggling due to poverty, illiteracy, and unemployment, which is one of the causes for the victimization to terrorism criminals that is disturbing the world peace. We all people of the world form one family, and it is the duty of our people in the developed nations of the world to extend support to uplift the economic level of the people of the underdeveloped and developing nations that builds a terrorism-free, peaceful world. For this, people in developed nations under individual social responsibility should consolidate their friends and relatives to mobilize resources and identify and adopt villages in the underdeveloped and developing nations to provide basic needs of food, clothing, shelter, education, health and of the people there. Not only this, whatever things they can able to do for the welfare of the people, they should take. And similarly, corporates in developed nations under corporate social responsibility should tap the natural resources and start industries in the underdeveloped and developing nations that provide employment opportunities for the people there and build schools, colleges, hospitals for the well-being of the people. Government of developed nations under government social responsibility should adopt these underdeveloped countries and provide financial aid to build all basic infrastructure like roads, houses, hospitals, drainage system, transport system, etc. to build the economic status of these developed, underdeveloped and developing nations, thus build a real peace in the world. Let us all join together and implement the above social mission to bring in real peace to humanity throughout the world and thus bring in real peace in the world. Now comes my Sri Atma's spiritual mission. Peace to humanity in today's tension-filled world is being disturbed due to tremendous tension and pressure one faces in the day-to-day life in the struggle for survival. Peace in the world is disturbed due to religious intolerance that is prevailing in many parts of the world, which is one of the causes for terrorism. In the quest to find solution to bring in peace to humanity and peace in the world, as per the instruction of my Atma Guru under my spiritual mission, the following programs are being launched. Atma Siddhi Yoga for peace to humanity. Human beings pass through 7 stages of life: kids, youth, adolescent, youth, kids, child, adolescent, youth, adult, elder, senior. At each stage of life, the intellectual growth, the situation and phases differs, and in order to achieve success in each stage of life, one has to awaken the spiritual strength to face the situations in life successfully, to lead a happy, prosperous, long, healthy, content and peaceful life. For this, it is proposed to propagate following 7 levels of Atma Siddhi Yoga for 7 stages of life, which can be watched in Sri Atma channel on YouTube. Atma Siddhi Yoga for kids 1 to 5 years, Atma Siddhi Yoga for children 6 to 12 years, Atma Siddhi Yoga for adolescents 13 to 19 years, teenage, Atma Siddhi Yoga for youth 20 to 26 years, Atma Siddhi Yoga for adults 27 to 40 years, Atma Siddhi for elders 41 to 60 years, Atma Siddhi Yoga for seniors above 60 years. To propagate scriptural knowledge for self-realization by humanity and to overcome religious intolerance for world peace. To highlight the truth that all religious philosophies of the world gives us knowledge for human peace, for self-realization and not human destruction. It is planned to launch pocket edition books as given below in the face manner, highlighting the message of peace told in 14 world's main religious philosophies, 108 Upanishads, 14 Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, various moral stories for children. Practice of 7 levels of Atma Siddhi Yoga for 7 stages of life. How to overcome ego, anger, pride, jealousy, hatredness, cunning, crooked, vengeance, attitude. The negative traits through ASY. How to deal with various chronic diseases through ASY. Self-healing method. To construct proposed world peace temple, as given in the annexure below, the monument of peace with central meditation hall surrounded by pyramid structural halls, with the depiction of message of peace enshrined in various religious philosophies of the world, with the message that all religious philosophies show us paths of human peace and not human destruction, and making an appeal to entire humanity to shed differences with fellow human beings on account of religion, caste, creed, race, and live in harmony to bring real peace in the world. Let us all join together and implement the above spiritual mission to bring in real peace to humanity throughout the world and thus bring real peace in the world. Thank you. Jai Hind. So I now give presentation of my Sri Atma's publications which will be published under scriptural jnana to bring to awareness about what our ancient rishis, munis, prophets, spiritual gurus and messenger of God, what they have shown, what they have given to the mankind after deep penance. And the depth of the silence inside you, you hear the voice of God. The voice of God, what they have heard, they presented through the scriptures for the future generation of humanity to benefit by and free themselves from all kinds of fear and negative traits and live peacefully, happily, with contentment. So, this knowledge of scriptures is very much essential for one to emancipate spiritually, to get enlightenment. So, even if you practice Atma Siddhi Yoga or any meditation technique, it should be augmented with the knowledge of scriptures. So that's why I give more importance on this scriptural knowledge what one has to bring. That is being presented every day through the Vishwashanti Yajna in the morning, where Vedic chanting, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, and in Raja Yoga, Atma Siddhi Yoga, in general format is being presented. In the evening, we are presenting under Vishwashanti Yajna is fire through the fire of scriptural knowledge from various religious philosophies. This thing which I am now going to bring in a book format for the benefit of all. So here, so many books I have mentioned. So here, crux of the message from all these religious philosophies will be taken. The message of peace, crux will be taken and be brought in a packet edition. Message of peace from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Hinduism. Message of peace from the Holy Bible, Old Testament, Judaism. Message of peace from the Holy Bible, the New Testament, Christianity. Message of peace from the Holy Quran, Islam. Message of peace from Buddhism philosophy. Message of peace from Jainism philosophy. Message of peace from Sikhism philosophy. Message of peace from Zoroastrian philosophy. Message of peace from Sufism philosophy. Message of Shinto philosophy. Then Taoism philosophy, Confucian philosophy, Museum philosophy, corridor philosophy. Then comes the 108 Upanishads. Isa Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, Prasna Upanishad, Mundakya Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Padaranyaka Upanishad, Brahma Upanishad, Kaivalya Upanishad, Jabala Upanishad, Sveta Svatara Upanishad, Jiva Hamsa Upanishad, Aruni Upanishad, Garbha Upanishad, Narayana Upanishad, Paramahamsa Upanishad, Amrita Bindu Upanishad, Amritananda Upanishad, Atavashyara Upanishad, Atavashika Upanishad, Maitrayani Upanishad, Kausika, Kaushita ki Brahmana Upanishad, Vrajabala Upanishad, Sumatapini Upanishad, Kalakriti Upanishad, Maitreya Upanishad, Subala Upanishad, Kuhirika Upanishad, Mantrika Upanishad, Sarvasra Upanishad, Narambra Upanishad, Sukhaharsana Upanishad, Vajrasuchika Upanishad, Tejabindu Upanishad, Nalabindu Upanishad, Dhyanabindu Upanishad, Brahmavidya Upanishad, Yogatattva Upanishad, Atmavada Upanishad, Narada Parivajraka Upanishad, Trishika Upanishad, Sita Upanishad, Yoga Chodamani Upanishad, a message from Nirvana Upanishad, Mandala Brahmana Upanishad, Dakshinamurti Upanishad, Sarabhi Upanishad, Skanda Upanishad, Tripavidhi Mahanarana Upanishad, Advaitaruka Upanishad, Ramarasya Upanishad, Ramadhamini Upanishad, Vasudeva Upanishad, Mudgala Upanishad, Chandilya Upanishad, Paingala Upanishad, Vikshu Upanishad, Mahat Upanishad, Sarirga Upanishad, Yogashika Upanishad, Turyatita Upanishad, Anyasa Upanishad, Paramahamsa Parivajjaka Upanishad, Akshamalika Upanishad, Avyakta Upanishad, Ekakshara Upanishad, Annapurna Upanishad, Surya Upanishad, Akshaya Upanishad, Adhyatma Upanishad, Kundika Upanishad, Savitri Upanishad, Atma Upanishad, Pasupata Upanishad, Parabrahma Upanishad, Avadutaka Upanishad, Sivaratna Pini Upanishad, Devi Upanishad, Tripura Upanishad, Katarudra Upanishad, Bhavana Upanishad, Udrihudraya Upanishad, Yoga Kundalini Upanishad, Bhasma Upanishad, Rudraksha Upanishad, Ganapati Upanishad, Darshana Upanishad, Tarasarika Upanishad, Mahavakya Upanishad, Panchabrahmana Upanishad, Prajnanihotra Upanishad, Gopada Patni Upanishad, Krishna Upanishad, Ajnavadika Upanishad, Hara Upanishad, Tatyayani Upanishad, Hayagreva Upanishad, Dattatreya Upanishad, Garuda Upanishad, Karyasmatra Upanishad, Devari Upanishad, Saubhagya Lakshmi Upanishad, Saraswati Rahasya Upanishad, Bhuvrijada Upanishad, Muktika Upanishad. Then comes 12 Puranas. What are they? Brahma Purana, Padma Purana, Vishnu Purana, Shiva Purana, Linga Purana, Garuda Purana, Narada Purana, Bhagavata Purana. And next comes Agni Purana, Kanda Purana, Bhavishya Purana, Brahma Viveta Purana. This comes Markandeya Purana, Vamana Purana, Varaha Purana, Matsya Purana, Kurma Purana, Brahmanda Purana. Now comes 4 Vedas. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda. Then comes message of Ramayana, message of Mahabharata, Advaita philosophy, Vishishta Advaita philosophy, Adisankara Tattvabodha, Atma Adisankara Tattvabodha, Adisankara Atma Bodha, Adisankara Viveka Chudamani, Brahma Sutras, Panchatantra stories for kids, Matanjali Yoga Sutra, Yoga Sastra, Manusmriti, Shankara, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, tips of home treatment for Siddha medicine for various diseases, symptom causes and treatment methods for various diseases, Atma Siddha Yoga for kids, Atma Siddha, children, adolescents, youth, adults, elders, seniors, and how to overcome ego, pride, anger through ASY. How to overcome jealousy, hatredness, vengeance attitude through ASY. How to overcome cunning, crooked, and negative attitude through ASY. How to heal one's disease through ASY, heal well method. How to develop positive divine quality through ASY. How to heal diabetes through ASY. How to heal heart problems through ASY. How to deal with kidney problems through ASY. How to heal brain tumor through ASY. How to heal cancer problems through ASY. How to heal arthritis through ASY. How to heal stomach problems through ASY. Note, the process from the publication of these spiritual books will be dedicated for the construction of World Peace Temple. So this is the World Peace Temple which I have planned. So this contains an important message. When you go deep into yourself, you can realize the truth that you are not the body or Atma. Soul. Atma is same in all, whether one is Hindu, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Jain, Sikh, Jew, Parsi, Sufi, or any other religions of the world. All religious philosophies aim for human peace and not human destruction. Let us shed our differences on account of religion, caste, creed, and bring in real individual peace and world peace. So, thank you for giving a patient reading of this important YouTube message. I request all the people to share this message to everybody in this world. So we live in this world for a short time, and we should give meaning to our life. So we should not die like an animal. Animal is selfish. It takes care of itself and its kids and kin and dies like that. So we should not restrict. We also do the same thing. We take birth, we read something, we get employment, we get married, we get kids, and we make them to grow and finally die. So it is like animal life, selfish life. So we have to use our sixth sense to see that what is the purpose of this birth and what is the role I have to play in bringing real Vishwashanti. So as God has got presented as two wives, Venkateswara, Muruga and all. So one way represents the family in which we are born, the duty. 5 represents the duty. Another way represents the world in which we are born. So we have to take care of our micro family in which we are born and micro family where we live in this world. So if there is no peace in the world, it disturbs our individual family life also. So if all the people of the world takes the duties, fulfill their due duties for both the micro family and macro family, we can bring real peace in the world, real prosperity in the world, real prosperity to all the people in the world. And there is no chance for any terrorism. There is no chance for any calamities. So let us all realize the truth. That's why I present this to Atma of all the individuals. You touch upon your Atma and see whether what is being presented by Atma Guru is really worth or not. If you feel it is worth, please share it. Please participate in it. It is not a one-person job. We all people have to do the responsibility. And we have to consolidate ourselves. See, if you take in a WhatsApp group, you have so many friends who are well read, and each person has to have so many friends. So like that in a network, if each group form an NGO like that and mobilize resources and take care of few people, it's sufficient. Like that, if we create a network of people, so many educated people, so many well-established people, they can bring in real change in the lives of so many people in the slums, in the remote villages, struggling from poverty, illiteracy, and employment, aging, everything. So we have to see that we do and bring real prosperity to the people, and we develop India into a great nation. We develop the entire world as a great world where we can see real peace in the world. Thank you.